Hey all, Farmer Cody here, and we recently finished building out our tomato tunnel. So I just wanted to give you a quick tour of all the bells and whistles on this. All right, so there's a lot going on in this tunnel. So we'll kind of walk through each of the features one by one, and I'll explain what their function is. So to start with, we have 2 layers of plastic up here, and that is inflated by an inflation fan. That fan runs 24/7, and it pulls outside air to help keep it from condensating in between the layers, so you can actually see the bubbles in it. If I look down it, and on the top, it ends up being about an 8-inch inflation layer. So the reason that is important is because that helps save on our heating costs, because that adds an R value just like it would on your house. Obviously, it's not nearly as efficient as your house, but hey, every little bit matters. So leading to the next feature is obviously we got a heater right here. That is a 250K BTU heater. It is, to my knowledge, one of the biggest propane heaters they make. So that keeps this whole house nice and toasty. I believe it'll change it 60 degrees. So that means if it's 0 degrees, it'll bring it up to 60. My math might not be perfect on that, or rather the raise may not be perfect on that. So don't hold me to that. And then we have the thermostats here in the middle of the house. So the reason we put those there is because that is the most accurate place that we can read the temperatures from. And then the thermostats are also on chains, so we can raise and lower them based on where the crop canopy is at, because that is where it is most important to keep the temperature regulated. So obviously heat rises, so it's important to keep that top canopy below, I don't know, 80 degrees. Between 75 and 80 is kind of the ideal sweet spot. And then to help also regulate that heat, we have these inflation fans here. So we have 6 of them in here, and when we plant this out, those will run 24/7, so that helps with condensation and also keeps just the temperature of the air even between the house. And then for ventilation, we have a couple of options. We have the vents behind me here, and then on the other end of the tunnel, let's boogie down here quick. You can see, hopefully, there's a big fan that will run, and that is on a thermostat, so that will suck the heat out of the tunnel at a given at the temperature we desire. So, and then if that can't keep up, the sides on the houses over here and over here, those also roll up. So those roll up sides are about at 5 to 6 feet roughly. So that helps really get rid of the heat when it's really hot. But the ventilation, the automated stuff on the thermostat, helps it when it's really cold out. In like March, we don't want to open the roll up sides, because that really shocks the plants, because all that cold air then comes in and is directly on the plants, which is not good for them at all. And then the roll-up sides are also on a thermostat, so we can regulate that. So it's kind of like a 2-stage regulation. You have your fan will kick in at roughly that 78 degrees or so, and then the roll-up sides will open when it's 80 to 85 rather. So, and then I'm thinking if there's anything else. Oh yeah. The other thing is, I'll try to show you here, is you can see those wires right there and right there. So those are what we actually trellis our tomatoes to. So we trellis them vertically to keep them clean, and also it helps increase growth, helps distribute light. It's a pretty common growing method. It's how we grew them in our cat tunnels. One thing we'll be changing is on each bed here, there is, if you could see them, kind of at a goofy angle. There's 2 wires, so there's one right there and one right there. So there's 2 wires per bed, because we'll actually grow 2 rows of tomatoes on each of the beds. So that helps with light distribution, and then allows us to kind of trellis them in a way where we can grow them over a longer season, which helps because these will be in the ground from the middle of March through November, hopefully, is kind of our goal. And then the last thing that I almost forgot about is we also have kind of something different in here that's probably less common, is a water heater. So this is an on-demand water heater, just like you would see in your house. And the reason why that is a big deal is when we plant early in the spring, the ground is very cold. In March, it's pretty cold in here still. So that helps warm up the ground, but it doesn't shock the root system as much. And then the second kind of function that helps is it also helps us from fighting the ground temperature with our big heater, which is right above me. Because otherwise the ground's so cold that you're fighting the air in the ground. So if we can warm up the ground with warm water, it also saves on our air heating cost, and it also shocks the plants less. So that's a big deal, and that's new to us, so hopefully that works out well. We will see. And I think that is about all I got. So I hope you enjoyed this tour, and we'll catch you in the next one.